As Christian men, we are called to surrender our lives to Jesus. To surrender to Jesus means to give in, not to give up. We are called to use our strengths, abilities, and opportunities to grow and prosper. We are called to strengthen ourselves, our families, and our communities. We are called to be disciplined, courageous, and honorable. This is Surrendered Strength. What's on God's honey to-do list? What's up, everyone? It's Nylan Lansing from Surrendered Strength Radio. You are listening to another episode of the Surrendered Strength Radio podcast, and I'm glad to have you. As always, we are working towards living a life that honors and glorifies God. That is our purpose. That is our mission. And what we do or how we do it is we just use the abilities and opportunities that God has given us. So that is the mission. That is the vision that all men specifically, but all women as well, as I talk more specifically to men. But the goal is everyone would honor and glorify God. So before we dive into today's episode, where we're talking about God's honey to-do list, if he has one, I just want to encourage you to, as always, leave a like, leave a review, subscribe, share the podcast, wherever you listen. Just, I need your help to spread the word, get more people involved with living a life that honors and glorifies God. So I need your help. So just share, do all the techie things that needs to be done for more people to see it. And also go to honoredandglorified.com, sign up for the free ebook, and just get involved in that way, and you'll get more information once you sign up for that book. And in terms of living a life that honors and glorifies God. So again, I appreciate it and thank you. So let's dive into today's episode. And I mentioned God's honey to-do list. Now, obviously, God is God. He doesn't have a quote unquote honey to-do list, but he does have a plan, a well thought out plan, and a plan for your life, a plan for my life, a plan for everyone's life. And not only that, but in his plans, he's willing to give us lots of blessings in this life and in the next. Mainly salvation, but once we grasp and just take a hold and accept salvation, we have the ability to be provided for abundantly and just continuously. And the Bible talks about us asking and seeking and just going to God with our wants, with our needs, with our requests. And the other day I was about to read Matthew chapter 7 where it talks about it. I'm going to read the verses in a little bit, but prior to me reading that, I was just thinking, honestly, I was feeling probably a bit down. It's been a rough month or so inside my head, and just thinking about things that I need to get done, that my wife wants me to get done, and just things within everyday life, marriage, kids, all that. And honestly, I've been struggling with just giving it to God and say, I need your help. I've been trying to do all this on my own. I think we all get into these cycles of, we start to try and do more than what we should be doing on our own without God's guidance, without leaning into God's strength. And I think that's where I've been over the past month or more. And to put it lightly, I've been stressed out, been more negative than what I typically am. Not that I'm a negative person, but just been negative. And and it's shown up in my marriage, shown up in my relationship with my wife, with my kids, and probably people around me as well. But so the other day I was about to read chapter 7 in Matthew, and I was just thinking, my wife has all these things that she wants me to get done, and I feel like someday she doesn't see, and maybe, and what I'm really wanting was just her to appreciate, but she doesn't see the things that are going on behind the scenes, and no fault to her own. It's just the way it is. And there's, when projects are happening, there are things that if you're not doing them or directly involved, you're not going to see them, and that is what it is. But so I've been working on these projects, and there's things that um, she just hasn't been able to see behind the scenes, and um, we were blessed to have our brother-in-law come down. We were able to get the carpet finished in our basement. Now the next step is to uh, finish the bathroom in our basement, project that started back in, well, really back when we moved into this house. But since August, it's now February, is when we've really been pushing this project. But we're finally moving, but she hasn't seen some of the things that have been happening behind the scenes, and things that I've been doing to get things prepped so we could have the carpet done, and so I can move on to the next phases and next steps. Uh, so, as I was just thinking about that, and I was thinking, there's a lot of things that are happening that people that aren't directly involved, there's lots of things that are happening that other people don't see. And and just thinking about that, and there's lots of details that people just don't see. They see work that's actually getting done, but they don't see a lot of the planning and other prepping stuff that needs to be done prior to actual progress being made. So I was thinking about that, and I'm like, okay, just let's try and not focus on any of that. Let's just read the word. And then I read chapter 7 in Matthew, and I want to read verses 7 through 11. Ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and it will be opened to you. For everyone who asks receives, and the one who seeks finds, and to the one who knocks it will be opened. Or which of you, if his son asks him for bread, will give him a stone? Or if he asks for a fish, will he give him a serpent? If you then, who are evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father who is in heaven give good things to those who ask him? And a lot of times we might focus on the actual asking when we read these verses, but there's a lot of behind the scenes that is happening. Once we take our request, once we seek, once we knock, once we do all that, God could work a miracle and just flat out give whatever you ask, whatever you seek. He could just give it to you. But God is a God of process. I know I've said that before. And there's lots of things that are happening behind the scenes that God is doing in our lives, even when we don't see movement happening. And this really hit me as I was just thinking about my wife, and how she doesn't see the things that are on her list. They're actually getting done slowly but surely. And and as I was thinking about that, there's things on my list that I have given to God that I've been like, when it's going to happen, and I had to take a step back and remember that there's lots of things that God is going to give me that I have asked for, that He will bless me with in the time that He sees fit. And I need to be patient and just trust that things are moving, even though I cannot see them moving. And this week has been such a blessing of a week in terms of, I'm kind of seeing a couple things moving, and we're moving in the direction of the request. We're not anywhere close to what God has promised me yet, but I know we're moving. I know God is working, and I can trust in His promises, in the Bible that says, ask and you will receive, seek and you will find, knock and it will be opened to you. And it's just been, like I said, a month or probably more that I've just been allowing the devil to win and allowing stress to win, and haven't been putting God first and just trusting God. So I just want to encourage you all to go to God, to ask, to seek, to knock, and be patient, and just be patient in God's promises, because whatever you ask, whatever you seek, and whatever you knock, it will be given to you. It will be opened to you, and we can trust in God's promises that God is working, even when we don't see that He's working. We know that He's working. And there's a song that kind of keeps playing in my head. I'm not going to try and sing it to you or even remember the lyrics, but there's a song that talks about this. But I just want to encourage you all to just breathe. Just breathe and trust that God is working, and just continue to do the things that you need to do to move forward. Continue to listen to God and allow God to speak into your life, into your heart, and to trust the Holy Spirit, and to just remember to experience the life and the joy that Jesus has. Um, and just remember that, if we're being stressed out, we're really forgetting what the point of joy that we have, the fact that we have eternal life. We're forgetting that. We're getting stressed out by the little things of this world. And again, I'm guilty. I've been guilty of this in the last weeks, months, whatever, where I just have forgotten the joy of salvation, which is greater than any of the stress, anything in this world. So I encourage you to just continue to step out in your faith, continue to seek God, continue to trust in God, trust in the Word, continue to pray, continue to read the Bible, and remember that the joy of salvation is greater than anything of this world. But God will continue to work in your life when you are faithful and continue to trust in Him. And again, just be patient. It's going to happen. If God has promised it, it's going to happen. So with that, I just want to encourage you one more time. Go over to honorandglorify.com, check out the website, get signed up for the free ebook, the free gift that I'm giving away. It's 15 proven ways to become disciplined and honorable as a Christian, and continue to seek God, trust in God, and do things that add value to you and to the people in your life. Until next time, God bless. Thanks for listening. Connect with me on Instagram and Facebook at Surrendered Strength. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share, and live the Surrendered Strength Code: discipline, courage, honor.